Hello again, Struck Club. Welcome back to another evening of streaming. Today I still wanna do a little bit of Chaosbane, and tomorrow probably I'm gonna do Valorant because I did finally get a key as a drop on Twitch for watching Valorant streams. So yeah, today I'm gonna do some testing for Elessa because one of my viewers on YouTube asked me about a reworked version of my Queen's Executors build, and I'm actually gonna do some experimenting with that set and this dagger. I'm gonna do the same thing I did on December. I'm gonna be swapping shit tons of different skills, god skills, passives, just to demonstrate different ways to set it up, because there's no single way to get it to work. There's multiple ways to get it to work, depends on what you would prefer. I'm gonna quickly post that I'm live on Discord. There we go, and we're ready to go. So first let's switch to the correct set, and I'm gonna remove my rings and this and queen set, and I want my executor dagger. I think that's the good one I had, and rings and amulet. Shit, so do I go for the one with cooldown or the one with crit chance? Right now on Elessa I really need better gear. I need an Ember Talisman that has both the crit chance and the cooldown, even if it doesn't have flat damage. Because right now I really need to get this cooldown as low as possible. Uh, Same goes for rings like this one. I need Ring of the Guardian with cooldown and crit chance. And here my only good cooldown crit chance ring is Ring of Dexterity. Of course ideally I would be using something like a cheating ring. Cheating Link's ring, because that's gonna be great. That is gonna be great, and Messiah is auto-hosting me. Thanks to him again. So this is also not gonna be a bad option for this part here. Uh, if I had it with good rows, if I had, where did it go? Ring of Vitality with crit chance and cooldown reduction. For now I'm gonna use this one because it's cooldown reduction and crit chance. You can see my spinning blaze is down to 10 seconds. If I switch this, it goes down to 9 seconds, but I'd rather have the crit chance because you can see my crit chance is very bad, 35. Ideally I want that to be around 45, and I want my cooldown reduction to be around between 50 and 60. Right now neither is what it needs to be, but first let's see what I'm using. This is how I normally play it nowadays. Nowadays I go for this cooldown reduction here. I grab Hunting Feast on the way, I grab the Winds of Isha on the way, and I can probably try and squeeze 1 point for this one, but I don't know, I think I can't sacrifice 1 point. Right now we've got this health regeneration here. If I sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4 points, I'm losing 2% health regeneration, and that 2%, look at my damage, 214. If I get rid of this, my damage ends up being 174. So that 2% health regeneration is equal to 40% damage. So 20% damage for each percent of health regeneration is what the Executors gives you. So this Winds of Isha would have been, but I guess we'll settle for what we've got, and let's just do that. So this is what I'm using. Of course I'm gonna be experimenting and changing a lot of the stuff as we go. Right now you see I'm using Blessing of the Forest, which is general health regeneration increase regardless whether you've got something going on or not. It's just a general health regeneration increase, something a must have for Executor's build, if I might say. And then Guardian Spirit is optional for damage reduction and health regeneration. If you stay static a lot of the time it would work well. This one, damage reduction, probably you can get rid of it and just use Hunting Feast if you want it. But keep in mind, Hunting Feast, is 25% chance when you kill a poisoned enemy. When a poisoned enemy dies. So first of all, it's not all the time. Second, the enemy needs to be poisoned when it dies. Because yeah, it's pretty optional. But you can end up stacking a lot of health regeneration with this. I've got padded armor, Hero of the Desert. Something that I really wanna try is I really wanna try using legendary healing. I really wanna use legendary healing. So what I'll do is I'm gonna reduce this one, remove it, max this one out. 40%? Let's say 40% is okay for now. And basically every time I use this, I'm gonna have a chance to heal myself and any other player. Let's test it. What chaos am I on? I'm on chaos 8. Alright, I'm gonna do chaos 8 and then I'm gonna go to chaos 9. Just to check, test the waters. Hero's maximum HP decreases over time. Let's do that quick then. So legendary healing would go well if you're using Brambo's skill, or if you're using something like another good skill that used to be amazing was Reflex Shot Superior, but then it ended up being shit eventually. The Brambos do a lot of damage though. But you can check how Reflex Shot would work. Let's test it. Is it healing me? I'm standing in one place and I've stacked that health regeneration. I wanna test it. So I'm standing in one place, stacking that health regeneration from different sources. And I'm actually surviving with all that healing. But I haven't fought elites yet. So let's see how fighting elites would work. I need to start using my other skills. I was just testing how it would be if I were just to focus on using this one. Of course you would run out of energy, so you have to kind of not spam just that. There's other ways to get energy. I'm gonna go back to the poison stuff though for now. But there's ways to make sure you don't run out of energy. Cost reduction stuff, and there's some passives that you can probably implement. For now, let's play it the way I like. Normally I try to focus on spinning blade rather than the other skills. But since legendary healing can be in the mix, maybe I can implement that too. Alright, let's keep moving. Did you notice I'm not doing the poison trail skill? I'm not doing the poison trail passive. This one leaves a trail of poison behind, so I removed that to use Hunting Feast Superior. Later I'm gonna change it and remove Hunting Feast as well. But legendary healing is a great skill if you max it out. That's 10% of your HP every now and then, as long as you have energy. And speaking of energy, I'm not using the right one. Ideally here I would be using the master for poison. But let's use this one for poison maybe. Or this one for poison. I'm gonna figure out which one would be the best way to get energy. Normally the Master Archer was my favorite one for getting energy when there's multiple enemies. But when there's a single enemy, probably the dagger might be the better option. We'll see. So more static playstyle now. See how it works. Ooh, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I didn't escape on time. Okay, let's try and just play this smart. Fuck! I didn't expect to die that quickly. Alright, there we go, got it. In general, as you can see, the big damage comes from Spinning Blade, Heroic, and I do need more cooldown. And as I said, my gear, I'm just super unlucky when it comes to this character. This has always been the character I never get good drops on. I can get greens, but greens with shit rolls. So for months I've been trying to gear her up with good rings and good amulets, and I just can't get them. But ideally you would want to be spamming Spinning Blade as much as you can. This is at least how I like to play it. Of course you can try and play more with the Brambos instead of playing more with the Spinning Blade, and that also works because the Brambos does end up doing a lot of damage when you stack it. When you stack all that poison. Let's stay away from this puker. Alright, this one I handled it well. See, it's just about how you play it. Let's go finish this map quickly, and then I'm gonna switch to Chaos 9 next. And after that I'm gonna be switching the build a lot. I would go through a lot of transformations today in the build department. Something similar to what I did in December when I was testing some Elessa stuff. And the poison executor setup is one of the most flexible because there are so many things in the god skill trees that you can take to combine it with the executor's dagger and the poison set. So a lot of options, and most of them work well. So I'm with less damage reduction now, but with legendary healing I do seem to be keeping my HP up a lot. Combining that with health regeneration, I think legendary healing definitely feels good on Elessa, as long as I keep using the Brambos. Alright, let's end it. Let's just find the boss. Should be here in this room. Alright, let's try spamming Brambos now. I'm just gonna spam some Brambos. You can see the Brambos can melt him pretty quickly if you start spamming them. When there's like 5, 6, 7 underneath him, his HP goes down well. But this is Chaos 8, so it's supposed to be easy. Chaos 8 is the equivalent of the old Chaos 6. So I should be able to complete this even with red items on some of the more powerful characters, not Elessa. Although even on Elessa I think Chaos 8 is doable with the right build on Chaos 8. It's just gonna be slow, it's gonna take a while. So now going to Chaos 9. Just to see how one-shotty they will be. Oh, and we got Nurgle. I'm actually gonna keep it even though its enemies explode on death. Oh, heroes healing and regeneration reduced. This you don't want this for Executor's build. This one, I'm actually gonna leave it as it is. Let's play it. It's gonna be a bit difficult dealing with all the dying enemies leaving blood pools if I let them die next to me. So, first things first, this way I think first. No, the other way first. I wanna get that chest. Oh, and surprisingly there is no chest here. Normally there is gonna be at least one chest when I get this layout. So even though there's a lot of bleeding going on, you can see when they die, I still manage to somehow keep my health up. And the more HP you have, the more you're gonna be healing, because it's based on your percent. The same goes with health regeneration, it's based on a percent of your total HP. Oh wow, wow. I'm still wondering if the dagger is the best choice. Let's play with Master Archer with poison for energy regeneration. I think the dagger is good because I can weave it in. I can weave the dagger in, whereas this one has a delay. Let me try this one. I'm just checking what can be weaved in. Yeah, I think the dagger with poison is the best choice because I can just weave it in between my attacks. See, I'm just holding my left click and doing my other skills, and in between those she's just attacking with some daggers, and that way my energy doesn't go down even while I'm spamming my Brambos. That's actually a good combo. I'm spamming Brambos and daggers, Brambos and daggers. Interesting mechanic to weave in two different attacks. Taking the little advantage of the delay between those attacks and the cooldowns, even though those have no cooldown at all. Okay, let's get the healer because he might be annoying. So it's taking a while. You can see the damage is whacking, and that's because my damage not damage reduction, my cooldown reduction is whacking. The good thing about the Brambos and the poison is every single poison hit can reset the cooldown or reduce the cooldown of the spinning blade. And this is why we're using Master Archer Bow combined with Ring of the Guardian and Amber Talisman. So any hit, regardless whether it's crit or not, can give us cooldown reduction. Any crit can give us cooldown reduction, and any crit can give us even more cooldown reduction. So here, instead of old Ring of Dexterity, ideally, as I said, I would probably be using Ring of Vitality for extra healing and HP, or Cheating Links, which would reduce my damage but give me damage reduction. Or we would even benefit from something like the Damage Ring, the one that gives us a -2 second cooldown. I forgot the name of that one. Untamed Ring. But for that you need to be picking up Bloodlust Orbs, so you need to be moving around the map. I only use this because it has good modifiers on it. And at least it's not a complete waste, because you can see my dagger skill is benefiting from that. When I boost my damage, the dagger ends up doing up to 2 million, which is not amazing numbers, but it's still extra couple million damage every now and then. Okay, let's get this done. So you can see I can handle Chaos 9 as long as I'm careful and I stay away from their attacks. Like this one now, I can see he's charging. So I wanna get out of danger. Go to a safe place. Something I really love doing on Elessa is taking a 90-degree between me and the wall and the NPC, and then just shooting the spinning blade so it would ricochet and hit the enemy twice or thrice. See, now if he didn't move away from there, he would have been hit at least a couple more times. You can do that in some hallways, but you won't be able to do that all the time. So keep that in mind. So what if I were to use this? What other skill is there to use with poison? I don't think this would do a lot of damage, but let's test it. I'm gonna just quickly get here and let's get some damage reduction going on, and let's do it. Oh, look at this, 19 million. Was that my spinning blade or was... Oh, it was my spinning blade. For a second I thought I thought for a second this skill was doing 19 million. I was like, what? How? When? When did this get this strong? So Rain of Arrows, it's not as strong as... I think this skill needs to be 3-4 times as strong as it is. For the energy it's consuming, it's just not worth it. And you have to channel it, which is the worst. You have to channel the skill, so that means it needs to be much stronger than the Brambles, because the Brambles, I just leave them be. I leave those be on the ground and they keep doing damage for a few seconds. So this skill needs a boost. Let's say make it 5 times stronger, and then it would be worth channeling the skill and not being able to do anything else while you're casting it. The same goes for Reflex Shot, although Reflex Shot I would say make it 4 times stronger, and then it would be worth it. Elessa really needs some loving to be on par with a mage or either of the dwarves. Because right now Spinning Blade is her highest damage dealing skill. So let's see how we can do with that. And there's one more thing I want to test. It's the one that we leave on the ground, this one. So as you heard, I will be testing a lot today. A lot of stuff will be tested today. So this one is another thing that you can just leave be on the ground. But it's not as good as the Brambles. As you can see, let's just try and stack my regeneration. I had to use this to survive because they were going to kill me. Might as well make the most out of it and try and kill some enemies. Oh, those kills also need a boost. Every character needs a major boost in the Bloodlust skills department. Major boost is needed there for any class. Fuck. That. Okay, now I'm gonna quickly regenerate my energy, but as you saw, this is not worth it, this skill. What's it called? Spiral Cut. Definitely not worth the energy. It's not even doing a million. Of course, I'm not maxing out my regeneration right now, but I think the most I can get it to do would be right now a million when I stack a lot of regeneration. Now let's remove Hunting Feast. Instead of Hunting Feast, I want something... If we take this, we are generating energy, and that would keep us afloat. I'm gonna go back to the Brambles. Let's go back to Reflex Shot, because it seems like Reflex Shot is the second best option after Brambles. It still uses a lot more energy than it needs to, Ah, fuck. So you can see this one gets all the way to like 2 million damage, which is not bad. And you can also weave it in, but it's better to just keep spamming it for a bit and then move on to getting energy. And if you keep dodging, you're gonna be regenerating energy. So before they nerfed this skill to Oblivion, back when Chaos 6, no, Chaos 5 was the maximum. Back when Chaos 5 was the hardest difficulty, the poison build was played mostly like that. You're dodging, you're doing this, you're dodging, you're doing reflex. So it was about dodge reflex with this passive I just equipped. And that was good enough back then. So I would love to see this playstyle returning. Because right now you can see just it's not doing that much damage, but still 4 million. 4 million with reflex shot. I still think the Barb Brambos is the better option, but if someone wants to play with the reflex, is the second best option, I think, as an energy gaining skill. And you're healing while using it, so if you're using legendary crushing, that is, of course. Ooh. But I think Barb Brambos is much better. Why? Because it keeps proccing stuff more. Every single proc, every single damage over time tick can proc when critting and can proc when hitting different things on our accessories and bow. So it's just the superior option. Barb Brambos with poison right now, miles away from most other energy consuming skills. And kind of still better even than reflex shot. But you can see it takes a while sometimes to kill the enemies on Chaos 9. Especially this guy. This guy's been here for what, a minute and a half maybe? Me trying to kill him. The others died quickly, but that guy's pretty annoying sometimes. So I still think Elessa needs a boost to be, with the poison set, to be able to do Chaos 9 fast enough. Chaos 8 you saw was pretty quick, and it's probably the perfect ground, the perfect hunting ground for Elessa until they boost her. I think the developers shouldn't be afraid to boost things. This game is not competitive, so if they end up making a character too overpowered for a few months until the next patch, well, no big deal. People would just end up playing that character more during that time and farm for it, but then they can rebalance back things. So they should start becoming more both when it comes to buffing the weak skills. Not nerfing the strong skills, but buffing the weak skills. And if something ends up being overpowered, well, let it be overpowered for a month or two until the next patch, and then just find the middle ground that works between the weak and the strong version of that. So all those skills that I tested that were weak, I think could benefit from a rework. Next off will be me changing my god skills. So I will have a little less cooldown next, but I'm gonna have some more procs of health regeneration and damage. And I'm gonna try and implement the tornado in the skills. Actually, implementing the tornado would be difficult because I still want to keep 3 cooldown skills. So next off, I'm getting rid of all those points. That means how much I'm losing 5 cooldown reduction. Well, one option would be getting rid of those 3 points and getting this tornado, using this tornado and maybe getting better hunting feast. What's in here? Champion damage reduction, HP armor. Armor. This one is something I used to use. Contributing to the death of a champion grants all players health regeneration for 20 seconds or for 30 seconds, or even more for... I think this is great, I used to play with that. So I'm gonna do this. Actually, I don't even need this, do I? If I want HP for the price of cost reduction, damn, I really don't want to sacrifice cost reduction. Let's try this out. So we're removing follow tracks. And we're equipping Force of Nature. That means we need to constantly be killing elites to keep this. We have 30 seconds after killing an elite. For those 30 seconds we're gonna have more damage, and we have to make the best out of it. And we'll see if it's gonna work. Maximum energy of all players decreases over time. This is really not a great one to do, but let's do it. Let's do it. And by areas, sorry for the late reply. Wosen, I'm not gonna say Wosen is dead. I'm gonna say Wosen is in a coma, and the developers need to wake Wosen up from that coma before the player base starts returning. But I wouldn't say it's dead. It just needs a little more good decisions in regards to balancing, and right now the whole itemization system in Wosen is terrible. It feels, even legendary items the way they are in Wosen feel super boring and bland. Like they're just stronger versions of the yellow items. There's nothing special about the legendaries. The uniques are the ones that have the special stuff, but right now the uniques are not that strong compared to legendaries. In fact, most of the times they are much weaker compared to legendaries. Damn, that's a difficult map. I'm gonna try a different map. So right now in Wosen, a lot of stuff needs to change before people start returning to it. Stop fucking trolling me, that game keeps giving me the terrible modifiers. Maximum HP decreases over time. I'm gonna try and complete this quickly. Again, I'm doing Chaos 9 now. I'm probably pushing. This set really is, I think, better for Chaos 8. At least with my current gear. Chaos 9 probably shouldn't be what I'm doing. But I wanna see. I wanna just keep testing. And legendary healing is a problem because it doesn't proc all the time. Sometimes it glitches and stops procking at all. Like I would do 10 casts at 50% chance, and then it would just not proc a single time until I either die or use a health potion, and then suddenly after using the health potion legendary healing starts procking again. Not sure why it gets this buggy. Look at it now. Now corruption marks. Again, as I said though, it's better to try and focus on spinning blades rather than the other stuff. Spinning blade is the one that just did 21 million for me. And I need to focus on killing champions. With my current god skill setup that I just set up, I think it's gonna be better if I don't stop until I reach an elite. Kill the elite, then keep moving, get the next elite, kind of that speedrunning mentality. And that's why probably Chaos 8 would have been the better option. EasyD saying, I don't know if you know this, know it already, but if you put points in Legendary Rage, then in Power, you can put more than 100 points, resulting in some crazy damage. I've tested the damage and it wasn't crazy actually. I'm not sure on what class you're getting the crazy damage, but I was testing on the explosion-based hero on Kiwa. Kiwa has explosion bonuses and she has a lot of explosion stuff, and I was testing Legendary Rage with Kiwa and I couldn't get much damage. I mean, I'm gonna show you what damage I'm getting here. Oh, you mean that this isn't capped? Is that what you mean? That this doesn't end at 100 points? This is probably what you mean. Yeah, I never invested that much. I invested up to 100 power. And this is how far I invested, and I think this might be a bug. So I'd rather not rely on more than 100 power. More than 100 power, I'd rather not rely on it because maybe they forgot to limit it. So maybe that's kind of the limit. But let's try it. I mean, let's remove legendary crushing. And let's try and have this proccing. Let's see how it will be. I was testing on Kiwa though. I was testing on Kiwa and she's the one that has a lot of explosion stuff. And I guess they forgot to add a limit. They forgot to add a limit of 100, but it's interesting to test this, and on heroes like this one, that does a lot of damage over time, a lot of things that can proc it, it could be good. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Thanks for the suggestion, by the way. But again, fuck, I need to survive. Survivability above anything else, so I'm gonna go and remove those points and get more damage reduction. So yeah, I guess if someone goes all in on Legendary Rage, they can trigger some crazy explosions. But I'd suggest don't get used to using it. It might end up getting nerfed. Use it for now if it's there, until it gets nerfed. If it gets nerfed, use it, but expect it to get changed. The way the other skills have a limit of 100 power. But it was weird, I couldn't get that strong of an explosion. I couldn't get explosions to do more than 4, 5, 6 million when I was testing on Kiwa. But mind you, my Kiwa even now doesn't have the best gear possible, so probably someone can get the explosions to do decent damage. Although 5 million might seem like a lot of damage, but I don't know. Knowing that with Kiwa I was doing a lot more damage with my melee attacks, and the damage reduction was more convenient for me. I guess if someone has a lot of levels, spare levels to invest, and doesn't need that much damage reduction or damage, then probably it's worth testing. Test it, guys, I mean test it. Anyone who's watching and playing Chaosbane, feel free to test with Legendary Rage. I personally didn't find it that strong when I tested it, but maybe now with that whack of limit you can do something crazy. I mean, just putting 200 points into power might end up being super strong, over a million flat damage explosion. Just to give you an idea, this spinning blade skill does 2 million. So that's gonna be doing half the damage of my spinning blade, and my spinning blade you saw it doing 21 million. So let's say with 2.6 million damage here, it can do 21 with all the crit damage and everything. That means the explosion would probably 1 million damage on the numbers there. Explosion would probably be doing roughly around 16 million or something damage. Actually, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be doing around 10 million. Let's say 10 million. maybe 7 million. Maybe 7 million. If 2021 is what I do right now, 2/5 of that make the maths. I'm bad at maths, so I'm not the one to be doing that calculation. But yeah, it's gonna be some interesting damage. And in builds where you use things like barbed brambos, that does a ton of hits per second. If every single hit has a chance to proc it, every single dot has a chance to proc this explosion. So this is perfect for damage over time builds. Perfect for damage over time builds. If you can really get that damage high. But new players wouldn't be able to benefit from it. New players wouldn't be able to get that much free skill points unless they grind a lot. By the way, if anyone wants to team up, feel free to. We can be testing stuff together, see how much the damage can go when we are in a team. I want to test something right now. 494 damage. Okay. Just checking how far I can push the damage of the Executor's Dagger with this this setup. Okay, let's kill the healer because he's annoying. And of course he's gonna heal him again. This is what I get for not killing the healer quickly. I wanna check the damage again. 494. This is my limit. With my current passives, this is my limit. If I were to replace this one with something like what should I get for more health regeneration? Something like Wound Hunter can give you a lot of stuff. By the way, Wound Hunter can give you a lot of health regeneration and damage reduction, but you have to make sure there's no enemies around you. And it's just, I don't know, I don't like it that much. Another thing for health regeneration would be, where did it go? Oh, I got rid of it. Hunting Feast, but I got rid of Hunting Feast. Yeah, I got rid of Hunting Feast. I've tried builds where I'm using Force of Nature and Hunting Feast. And the Tornado with the poison and healing, so that's probably gonna be the next thing I'm trying. But I want to demonstrate a lot of different options and ways to set Elessa. So that's gonna be the major thing today. By the way, tomorrow I will be streaming Valorant. If you have a beta key for Valorant, we can play together. I'm not amazing at shooters. In fact, it's quite the opposite when it comes to shooters. I'm bad at aiming. But I finally got invited into the closed beta and I can't wait to play it and stream it. Show everyone how bad I am at shooters. If you haven't already seen me play Borderlands to see how bad I am, you can see me play Valorant tomorrow. Took me a while though, took me a while to get that key as a drop on Twitch. I guess it really is random. By the way, if you don't know how to get Valorant drops, you just need to watch any stream, any stream that has drops enabled for 2 hours. After that you don't have to keep watching, you just need to have a total of 2 hours of watching time of Valorant streams that have the drops enabled option, and then eventually once it's your turn you're gonna get an invite. It's completely random. So oh, 32 million just now, that's a nice damage. keep forgetting to... Wait, is that increased cooldowns? No, it's not increased cooldowns, okay. Let's keep moving. Another thing that can keep proccing something like the explosions is your poison from the set, the poison aura. So if you wanna be using explosions, yeah, the poison set is probably your best choice. But again, if you can survive, it doesn't matter how much damage you do. Doesn't matter how much damage you can do with those explosions and everything else. If you die quickly, like I just did earlier. Almost died again too. Legendary healing is very bugged though. It doesn't proc all the time, and sometimes it stops proccing for until you use a potion. It stops proccing. Once I had to do like 30 seconds of constantly spamming my movement skill on Conrad, and it couldn't heal a single time, with 50% chance to proc. So they really need to fix legendary healing, because it's difficult. It's difficult when it's broken like that and just randomly stops working for a few seconds, sometimes more than a few. Fuck, I'm gonna die. No, don't die, don't. she dead. Yeah, that girl dead. Well, I tried to escape. Again, as you see, sometimes the healing just stops working. So, I said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. Chaos 9 seems like a bit of an overkill for Elessa right now. For a poison Elessa. It's just much better if you spend your time farming Chaos 8 or doing invasions. Although we all know how boring invasions are. But if you want items, invasions are probably the way to go, I guess. I think my Elessa is at rank 28 invasions. You wanna see the explosions on my Bragi? Okay. That's gonna be interesting to test on my Bragi, by the way. Explosions on Bragi. Ah, no. Survive. See, it doesn't want to heal me. Okay. Thankfully the health regeneration healed me, but... Alright, let's keep moving. But yeah, I would love to do some group farming for Elessa and try and gear her up with better accessories. This is the main thing I need on her. Good accessories right now, with cooldown reduction and crit chance, a guardian ring, an ember talisman, and maybe that cheating links. If not the cheating links, then maybe the other one that what was its name? Not Iron Bark, what was the name? Untamed. I think with the cooldown. Although Untamed shouldn't be a priority, since Bloodlust Orbs, the way they are right now, they feel wrong. I don't know why they even wanted to nerf those rings by making the bonuses only apply when you pick up a Bloodlust Orb, without making it easier to pick a Bloodlust Orb. I mean, they did make Bloodlust Orbs drop more often, so I know they were thinking about that when they made the change, but of course the better way would have been to increase the radius of picking up those orbs on certain items. Ah, don't die. Yeah, legendary healing feels like the right skill to use on this build when you're spamming Brambos or what. It's not gonna be proccing that much, but when it does start proccing, it's gonna be a welcome 10% healing every now and then. And if you sacrifice some damage and go for more HP, it might end up being better. For example, let's say you make her HP 350,000 by using the rings. So instead of Oath Ring of Dexterity, which as I said I really don't want to be using, but it's my best road ring. Instead of that if I'm using which one was it? Cheating links 30% HP, but the other option would be Ring of Vitality, because it would also increase the healing. So Ring of Vitality would fit very well in this setup. Oops, just a moment. I'm trying to recharge my mouse. There we go. I just need to plug the cable. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, Ring of Vitality would fit well. It's gonna give me 25% more HP, and I can sacrifice some of the items on some of the rolls on my items. Like this one is using 4 red, so I can make this one to be using 3 red and 3 green for up to another 2 more thousand HP. What else can get? This can get 2 more thousand HP. Oh no, this can't. So this can get 2 more thousand HP roughly. This can get 2 more thousand HP. So everything that's around 3 point something thousand, under 4000 HP can get more if I sacrifice some damage. And I'm gonna actually do that now. I'm gonna sacrifice damage. What was it? Pim, pim, pim. Pim, pim, pim. Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty close to the maximum damage I can get. Another pretty close to the max damage I can get. I do need HP on my items. By the way, this item doesn't give me HP, so things can be better if this gives HP. And this doesn't give me HP, and this doesn't give me HP, and this doesn't give me HP. So there's on this one I can get what was it 40,000 I can get? Maybe we could just make an offering here quickly. I need to do it again. Ah, fuck, I got screwed. I'm gonna go in the town. I need to exchange some things, some tokens. So, exchange, trade. I'm trying to get close to 4000 damage here. That was so bad. That was almost the minimum I can get. 160 under the... I'm trying to get close to 100 under the... Oh, nice. That's almost the max. And let's do it on this one. Okay, one more try, that's it. Well, I still got some more HP now. Like 60,000 more HP here compared to earlier, but earlier I was getting a debuff. So let me check the daggers. The daggers can give you... How much HP can a dagger give me? A dagger can give me... Fuck, I don't have a dagger with HP, do I? 17. So the dagger can give close to 20,000 HP when maxed out. So that's another 20,000 HP I'm missing. And then on rings, how much can I get on rings? Another, let's say 25,000 if I'm lucky. So 40 something thousand HP, and then on the amulet, if I'm lucky, another 12,000 if I'm lucky. So let's say 55,000 roughly HP is what I can get if I'm lucky with HP on those things. On the accessories and the dagger. Anything else that's missing HP? Oh, and I can get health regeneration on my helmet if I'm lucky. And health regeneration on my gauntlets if I'm lucky. And this one needs health regeneration, so things can be stronger. Definitely can be stronger. So it's not that bad. I think if you play safe, Chaos 9 is okay, but if you don't play safe, it's not gonna be great. Let's try a little bit of farming on invasions. Just some quick invasion maps. Maybe I can get lucky, get a green. This is rank 28, so the wood quality is just phenomenally high. And I can just do this and they would die. I'm just gonna get this run over with quickly. Cooldowns increased map? Oh yeah. One of those maps. Come on, keep moving. You can see the damage over time is not doing anything to me on this due to my high health regeneration. And it's not even that high, it's only 10.7%. This can go up to 12% with the right equipment without proccing anything. Like right now, from 10.7 it went to 14.7. So I can tell you this skill gives you 4% health regeneration. This also gives you 4% health regeneration, but all the time. This gives you, I think, 8. Let's see. From 14.7 to 20.7, but I think oh, it's 6. It's 6. The other one gives 6. So this is 6, this is 4, this is 4%, and this is also 4%. Would have been nice if in brackets it showed the percent that it gives you. Like to show you the flat number, but also in brackets show you the percentage. So that you know that this changes based on how much HP you've got. I mean, I know it because I've played enough, but the new player may not know it. Big chest, little wood. So that's the boring part of invasions. That's why I kind of just... I'm not gonna do another invasion map. At least not right now, maybe later. Just wanted to try my luck once. Roll the dice. Wood quality 4.6, unlucky. Of course that can be compared to a 7000 wood quality map. But yeah, I'm hoping to get better accessories and a better dagger. That's my main things I need to work on. Even if I don't get items with health regeneration as upgrades of my currently equipped armor. Enemies unaffected by poison, bleeding and stunning. That's definitely not for my poison setup. Let's do this one. Okay. By the way, does anyone know if the Valorant game is using a Steam launcher or whether it's its own launcher? Just wondering what Riot Games is using for their game as a means of where the game is on which launcher. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Oh wait, let's check the chest. The wood quality is 5000, okay. After this I'm gonna try another setup. As I said, I wanna try the setup with the tornado and with the two passives. But trying that setup would probably require me to get rid of some god skills. Not god skills, but god skill nodes. Maybe I'm gonna have to get rid of the health regeneration node, the 2% one. Which is 40% damage. 2%, as you know, each percent is 20. Each percent health regeneration is 20% damage on the executor dagger. What's happening with my cooldown? I'm not seeing it resetting a lot. Right now, what am I using here? Force of Nature, Guardian Spirit. If I were to get rid of Guardian Spirit, what could I equip to help? Fuck, I'm taking a lot of damage from somewhere. Is it? There's no butt pulse, so I'm not sure what it could be. No, 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 don't die, don't die. It's challenging, trying to survive is challenging with this little damage reduction. You can see my defenses are barely enough to survive hits. Can be compared to my mage with 26 million defenses. Definitely. Even now, 2.5 million, kind of, yeah. But cooldown reduction, this is what I need the most. Cooldown reduction and crit chance on this character is where my weak links are. And it's something super important. Moving from one elite to the other. Okay, healer here, that's gonna be an easy target if I play my cards right. Kind of messed up here. Should have killed him before that many arrived where he is now. Now it's kind of hard to tell where the healer is. I still see him somewhere over there. Oh, and now there's two healers. Fuck. Right, let's kill one of them. I already lost my bonus. 30 seconds already passed. Okay, just got my new bonus. Another 30 seconds. No! Ah, damn, I was just about to dodge. I was just about to dodge. Don't run away, give me my bonus. No, fuck! One shot, insta killed, spawn kill. See, that was super unlucky. This enemy has been doing his charging attack and it just timed perfectly with my becoming vulnerable after dying. Even if I tried to time it, if I was controlling the enemy, I wouldn't be able to time it this perfectly. This is just one of those moments where the universe aligns in favor of the enemy. Come on, die, die, die. Fuck, how? I was constantly spamming my healing, so no matter how much healing you've got, it's not gonna help you if you get one shot. This is what I've been saying, and you can definitely see it here in full force. No, I can't revive with fragments. Just definitely need more damage reduction. So let's say I remove Guardian Spirit and add the one that gives me 10% damage reduction while moving. Where was it? I wish one of those skills would give damage reduction. It would have been amazing if this one, for example, after throwing it I get 10% damage reduction. And this one, we need one with physical, so let's say this one and this one. So one poison, one physical, those should be like the two that give damage reduction after casting it. We need more things on Elessa that give damage reduction. Right now this can give you 10%. This can give you 10%, this can give you 20%, but you have to stay in one place. And you have to use the spirit and just so many ifs. If this happens, if that happens. This one only gives you for the first hit after max HP. So this would be 99% of the time this won't be the case. This gives you another damage reduction when there's no nearby enemies. So that's not gonna help you much. Because most of the times the enemies would be near you if you're getting hit. So completely boring way of designing the damage reduction on this hero. Super bad way, and that's it, no more damage reduction sources for her. It's just super disappointing when it comes to damage reduction on this hero. She doesn't have items that give her damage reduction like the mage, The mage has sets that give damage reduction. It has offhands like a staff that can give you damage reduction when you stay close. Conrad has a hammer that can give you damage reduction, and then Blade of Vengeance can give you up to 30% damage reduction from stacks. Bragi has things plenty for damage reduction as well, in regards to, for example, the heroic Strike of the Anvil, and some other actives and passives, but Bragi is more mobile. Bragi does so much damage that he can survive without the damage reduction sometimes. But you can see Kilo has a lot of damage reduction. I think Elessa needs a bit of a rework in regards to adding more damage reduction to her skills. Because when she was made, people didn't need that much damage reduction because Chaos 5 was the limit when Kilo has been designed. And with patches, other heroes got damage reduction worked into the set bonuses and the new items, but Elessa never got the treatment the others got. So she received new items, but those new items didn't give damage reduction, like for example the heroic, like Blade of Azire, for example, giving you the heroic version, giving you damage reduction, or like the Relentless Sentinel giving damage reduction on the mage. Or like the heroic Strike of the Anvil on Bragi. So you can see how painful it is to try and get hit. It turns into playing a bullet hell, don't get hit more than once in a row. And it's just boring. I mean, I don't think it needs to be a bullet hell. Let's see what else I can use for damage reduction. Those don't give me. This doesn't give me damage reduction. This doesn't give damage reduction. So, yeah. There's things like this note that you can take, but that's just champions. And no matter how much health regeneration or healing you've got, damage reduction is more important in the game right now. Fuck, don't die, don't die, don't die. Come on, survive. So you can see I'm doing it, but it's taking a while. Okay, finally. Next I'm gonna switch some things up just to show you some other ways to play it. There are no Queen boots, maybe that's gonna be an upgrade to what I'm wearing. Let's check. Checkity check. So another pair of boots without health regeneration. It gives a lot of counterattack damage, so I'm still gonna keep it for when I decide to test counterattack stuff. But counterattack stuff not on this set, because it's physical damage, so probably I shouldn't keep it. But first let me check the other. I forgot to check the HP. Less HP, less armor, same movement speed, just 0.5 difference. Yeah, not really worth it, but I'm gonna keep it. Who knows, maybe I'm gonna give it away if someone needs it. I'm gonna rework my god skills now. Just quickly getting rid of stuff. So what we're doing now is we want to get rid of this stuff here. We want to be using this stuff here. And we want to be using this here if we can. But that's gonna be a bit difficult. How many points do I need? 2 more points. As I suspected, I'm gonna have to get rid of this health regeneration, so that's 40 damage I'm losing. But I can get more HP if I want to, at least. Let's see. I'm not gonna be able to even get more HP, because 1 point is not enough. So if I use this tornado, I'm gonna be suffering by whack of stuff. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna replace my Cove the Spirits, and I don't think I'm gonna have good... I don't think I'm gonna have enough, what's it called? Duelist Chain Reaction procs. Let's get rid of this damage reduction. And by the way, there's 5% damage reduction here if you want it, but really not gonna do that much for us, is it? And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm using that one and not this one, it's because it's less points. Costs less points, it gives me the same health regeneration. And it's the same duration, only the damage is different. So, enemies in the area are swallowed, and this is enemies in the area are swallowed and poisoned. So this just does poison, this does poison damage, but just direct. But yeah, we can do the poison winds of fission now. Although this one gives more health regeneration. So if you want health regeneration from the tornado, this one is the better option. But it's over there. Not there. It's over there. Where was it? Here. So it's not gonna work the way I want it. It's for a different build. So those 2 points, no matter where we spend them, it's not gonna do much for us. This cost reduction might help. Or we can just do 2 points into HP. Maximum energy. Oh, this is the other source of damage reduction. I forgot about this one, but this is physical, so that's only for physical builds. And this is a lot of cooldown reduction, so later I'm gonna test a build that goes all the way here. I'm gonna test a build that maxes out the cooldown. So the next build I test would be something that is like that. For now, let's just put 4% HP. And let's try it. I'm intentionally trying intentionally doing Chaos 9. So that everything I try is getting compared to the same types of enemies. Oh, I'm not getting quirky, am I? No, I can't do it. Let's do lesser then. Should work. It doesn't matter whether it's lesser or greater for me. I'm not doing it for the farming. I'm doing it for testing on the same amount of enemies, same difficulty of enemies. Modifiers won't make the enemies stronger. It's just gonna make them more annoying. What's my health regeneration now? 21%. With 21% we got 434. And after we kill an elite, that's gonna go up to 25%. So I'm gonna have over 500% damage on my executor now. When I kill an elite and stack those things. But it's difficult to stack it because this tornado keeps moving and there's no way to control it. There's no way to tell the tornado, hey, stay next to me, rotate around me. Would have been nice if the tornado was staying with you all the time. Or if there was a way, like on L1 tier, to control it somehow where it goes. Okay, now if I stack everything, I should have much more damage than before. $545. What about now? Still 545. Where? Did the 30 seconds pass? I guess the 30 seconds passed. Oh, it's 20 seconds now, it's not 30, my bad. Because I changed the skill to the weaker version of it. $374, shit. I need a tornado. Now 514, there we go. So this is how much you can get with this setup. 514 damage, but it's very situational. It's only for 20 seconds after killing an elite, and you need to have the tornado and the other thing, what's its name, the Queen's Wrath. You can get more if you remove something like, let's say we remove padded armor and we put Guardian Spirit. Oh shit, that's not gonna work, is it? Still not enough points, just one more point. That's annoying. Well, this is the same amount. Oh, and that actually needs to stack up too, so we can probably get it even stronger if we do. That's gonna be super situational to get all those things to align and stack up. Okay, I'm gonna try and stack them up to see. I wish I could have something like an add-on to show me my executor's damage bonus somewhere. It's gonna be difficult to stack all four things together, but I wanna try and do it and see if I can get 600 damage on the executor dagger. Probably won't be able to, but who knows. Ah! I thought it exploded when I moved. I thought like, okay, it was safe, he exploded. Now I just wasted this opportunity. Okay, let's try with that one then. Okay, now I really need fucking tornado. Now 534, that's without the tornado. 534 without the tornado. Please don't die. Stay in one place, stay in one place. 534 with or without the tornado. Now with it, yeah, I lost some of that. But it's gonna be difficult to get all things to align. You can see even when I'm trying, it's difficult. Imagine that most of the time when you're playing with something like that, you're not gonna be focusing on getting all those things to align. But every now and then they will, and you would have that extra boost of damage. So there's, as you can see, a ton of ways to sort your poison build. A ton of ways to play with it. I think that's the set with the most flexibility because of the many things that can give you health regeneration and the many poison spells, skills that are in the God skill tree and in the active skill tree. Ah, fuck, just when I was about to pause to change a skill. I'm not even sure what killed me. I think it was the guy with the banner having this ranged attack. So I wanted to switch this one quickly. Let's see any more elites here. You can see with this one you're very vulnerable because you have to stay in one place to use it. I mean, you can move and use it, move and use it. And it wastes a lot of energy, as you can see. So next will be a build where I'm gonna use as much cooldown reduction from the god skills as I can. And maybe use the non-poison damage reduction Queen's Rat rather than the one with the poison, because it gives more health regeneration and it gives damage reduction as well. Even though it does physical damage, it still doesn't matter as long as we get the important things. Phew, that was close, almost got me there. But yeah, definitely some skills that need some boosting on her. And I've always been saying that she needs some loving on most of her skills, not just a few, but the majority of her skills. Not the god skills, but the skills, the basic ones and the advanced ones. I'm surprised I actually survived that one-shotty skill. Alright, that was close. I almost died there at the end. Alright, next build. Next build is the 15% cooldown reduction from God Skills build. Let's reset everything. So we're going for this cooldown reduction. We're taking this one. We're still gonna grab that one here and probably this 1%. And do we have enough to get there? We don't. Right, let's say we don't grab this one. Let's say we only go here. Can we grab that one? 1 point. Fuck, really? Just 1 point? Oh, I don't need this one. I can get rid of that 1 point. Ah, there we go. So we're using that one. I'm doing this cooldown reduction, so it's not gonna have that much health regeneration. But at least we're getting half of this one all the time. So our damage without procs would be less. There's no more cooldown reduction, is there, on the way? There's cooldown reduction, by the way, here, 2%, and then there's more cooldown reduction on the way here, but I really don't want to go that way. I just don't want to go that way for the cooldown reduction. Oh, there was cooldown reduction here, was it? That's another thing I'm gonna try later, going this way and going all the way here for crits. Because on this way there is no cooldown reduction, but there's a lot of crits. But this is the summoner stuff, and this is mostly summoner stuff here as well. So that's why I didn't want to go there. I can do a hybrid poison summoner, and I've done it before. But see, now we've got 15% cooldown reduction, and my cooldown reduction right now is 56%. So we're gonna be relying on spinning blades more this time. First of all, let's sort out the important skills. We don't use that one. God skills. We want this here. And we want... 10,000, 10,000. Champion damage reduction sounds like a good bet to get. And then let's do Brambos first. Or we could try with traps, but I don't think it's gonna be as good as the Brambos. Now we've got 16 points to work with. I mean, Guardian Spirit is an obvious possible choice. Tactical Retreat would be a nice choice if you want that damage reduction. If you don't want to be stacking HP regeneration, but rather the damage reduction. So let's do this if we can. Okay, I'm gonna downgrade this. And then now we're stacking as much damage reduction as we can get. 20%, 30% total, 40% total, and then we get 50% total and 60% damage reduction total. I don't think there's more we can get other than this little passive here for 5%. But that's it, that's squeezing out the most damage reduction we can get. What about that one? Oh no, never mind, that's reducing my damage. This is interesting. This is really interesting to use, but I haven't completed the Forge story. But this means physical damage from skills has a chance to poison, so this one would have chance to poison, and this one would have chance to poison. And then all those things with poison damage would have 20% more damage for 7 points. I'm gonna experiment with it some other time, I guess. Let's do a Chaos 9 map now, quickly. Ooh, Swanesh. This would be not pleasant. No! Fuck. I started it. I shouldn't have. Keep wasting gold and I can't reroll. Yeah, this is fine. Poison clouds regularly appear on the ground. So this is one of the more weirder setups. We can do on her. Did you just see this? Was this 10 million from my god skill from Queen's Wrath? I think it was. So this one from 11-second cooldown is down to 8 seconds, and mind you, I don't have cooldown reduction on this piece, and I don't have crit chance on this piece. I could get one with with cooldown here, but then my crit chance would be terribly bad. Right now it's bad enough. Oh fuck, but look at that. I kind of didn't even see this coming. What the hell killed me remains to be seen. Was it the enemy charging a skill? I love playing on this biome on the Forges maps. Oh! Oh, this is what kills me. My poison, my poison aura is destroying barrows, and the barrows are one-shotting me. This is the best thing ever. Something almost killed me there again, another barrow. Top keg barrow that strikes again. I'm not sure why they made those poison barrows this strong. I mean, it's fine to take like 100,000 damage, but it does so much damage. I think if you don't have damage reduction, that's probably 300,000 hits. Oh, this one's barely taking damage. What's happening? I normally eat those for breakfast on my other characters. If anyone wants me to experiment with other sets, so if you want to see the Eternity set or some of the other ones like the Everlasting Summer or whatever, let me know. I'm on Kiva today for some more time. I could probably switch to another hero, but I've already named my stream that I'm gonna be doing Elessa stuff, so I probably might dedicate this day mostly to Elessa. But I'm open to suggestions. If you really want to see me play a different hero, I can change for a moment. And another death by a barrow. I mean, those barrows have it out for me. 3 out of 3 times I died was from barrows, I think. The first one I didn't see the barrow exploding, but I'm pretty sure the first one was also a barrow death. So that's a very weird version of setting up an executor build. I never actually tried such a setup. When I was using those god skills, I was going for a physical build. But it's a lot of cooldown reduction, so for people who whack cooldown reduction, that might be something they want to experiment with. Imagine if I had cooldown reduction in my items maxed out. And if I had more crit chance. I can get 5%, 6% more cooldown reduction from the amulet. And if I squeeze a min-maxing situation, that's probably, we're looking at another 8% cooldown reduction. If I squeeze the most out of every single piece of equipment, that can give me some. This can go up to 9, I think. This can be like 6%. This can be another up to 6%, and this can be 6%. So from here I can get like 1, 6, 0.5, let's say. Here I can get a lot more, I think. I think this goes up to 9 or 10. I'm not sure, maybe 9. What about the bow? See, with the bow I can get at least 2% if I'm lucky. 2% cooldown reduction on the bow would be nice. I do have a Master Archer with more cooldown, but with kind of less damage. It seems like an okay choice though, but it doesn't give me that crit damage the other one does. But it gives armor piercing, which probably might be the better option. Oh, this barrel almost killed me again. Oh, not the troll. On this squishy build playing against the troll, it might be a bit painful. Oh, what? Did you see this? He was still swinging. He was still swinging his bat, so probably it wasn't him that killed me, but and this is one of the problems with playing poison build. You don't see what's happening on the ground because your poison fields are covering the enemy's poison fields, and there's so much green from the tornadoes and other stuff. I think on the ground where there's a poison field like this one, there needs to be something that really indicates that there's a poison field. There should be an option to enable indicators. So red blinking indicators like you have in MMOs, where an attack is gonna happen or where it's happening. Or an option to disable some of my own effects so I can see what's underneath them. Now he's healing. This is gonna take forever, but I'm playing it safe. No! Fuck, almost died again. Survive, survive, little elf, survive. He's gonna have healed by now, but no, he's regenerating so much. Tough fight for elf to do on a non-summoner build. I'm dangerously close to dying so often. So close to killing him, come on. Just survive a little longer. No, 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 fuck. Almost died there. And this is another bug, I'm not sure if you've noticed it, but if I use my spinning blade and I dodge, it disappears if I dodge through it. Sometimes you're using spinning blade, you're using your dodge roll, and then you catch the spinning blade in the air and it disappears, and it doesn't do damage. This bug has been appearing for quite some time. I'm gonna try and demonstrate it in the town where I can just use it freely. Oh, there's healer. I'm gonna kill him first. Oh, it's two of them. Fuck. That makes this so difficult to do. Two healers. Three healers. Fuck. The game doesn't want me. Let's wood the stuff first and then do damage. Three healers in the same fight with two non-healer minotaurs. That's like... How many elites is it? 5 elites? Five bloody elites, 3 of them healers. I mean, that's a bit too much, if you ask me, in one place. Who do I even kill first? It's obviously gonna be one of the healers, but which healer do I go for? I'm gonna try and get all 3 healers in the same place. Doesn't seem to work though. Okay, two of them are almost dead. Two healers down, nice. Get it. Phew, that was tougher than the fucking boss fight, or at least more challenging than the boss fight. At least he didn't do as much damage as him. Was he healing himself? Or was it just me? Wow, this one is so fucking tough. I never expected to have that much trouble killing an enemy. It's like a fucking bullet sponge of a... No. I tried to dodge on time, I was still in the middle of a different animation, I guess. Thankfully this one doesn't heal like a boss, so... No, no! Ah, he stuns me, that's why I can't dodge with this attack. This one that he just did. And he has so much damage reduction when I'm doing like 10, 19, 30 million damage to other enemies. To him I'm doing like less than a million. Right, final elite and then I'm leaving this map. And I'm gonna start a new one. Just didn't want that other guy to be my last fight of the map. And I'm probably gonna pick some junk items to sell. Might do some invasions for quick bucks. So yeah, let's do something for quick bucks. Can I do this by myself, or is it gonna be a bit too difficult for this setup? Let's see. Just a second, needed some tea. Okay. This might be a bit difficult if that's the one with the boss fight. It doesn't seem to be the one with the boss fight though. What's the wood quality here? 5.8 thousand. I can actually get a good drop here. If I get... Oh shit, stunned. My health regeneration is not enough to negate the damage over time debuff, by the way. Even though it's supposed to be a little, it's supposed to be 8% minus 60%, so make the maths how much it is, like 3 point something. I think this would be more suitable here for that content. Yeah, much more suitable for this content. I can just chill in the middle. Of course I'm gonna be dodging those though. And we're done with this. So how am I doing with the goat now? 42,000. I'm gonna make a bit more gold so I can do some non-invasion stuff, but this would be quick. This would be quick and good bucks. Might as well make some fragments while we wrecked it. Okay, let's pick up those fragments now. Alright. Well, at least we got some fragments and gold from this map, and quite a few fragments. Already 2 runs of that. But we're nearing the boss fight, so I won't get another go until maybe the boss. We'll see. Depends on the bloodlust drops. Oh, another go. There we go. Let's try and get everyone around this part. And there's a chest, but we already opened the big chest, so that's probably gonna be a small or medium. Yeah. Didn't get lucky. Oh, we've got another go of this. We get them all. Alright, that's a lot of fragments from this run. If I'm doing invasions, might as well take advantage of the easy stuff and do some fragment runs. How's my gold? From 42,000 to 77,000. Some people say doing boss rushes is good for gold as well. Let's test it. Let's do Chaos 6 boss rushes. No, it's too far. I need the brambles here. Maybe farming gold should have been done on another character rather than this one. Yeah, a summoner build would definitely be the best. Not for this boss, because your summons get wrecked by the AoE. So for this boss, the summoner build is not the best, it's the trap build. Trap builds are the best for this one. Physical trap build with Brambos and traps of physical type is best for this boss, because your summons get killed. If you glitch him in the beginning, then summoner build is the best. If you manage to glitch him with the summons, and there is a way to glitch this boss, so all of your summons are around him and he never goes into the other phase. And he kind of gets melted within like 15 seconds, he's done. I can show you what I mean. I can show you what I mean with the summon, but you have to kind of glitch him, otherwise it won't work. You're gonna see now. Hopefully I execute it well. It really relies on me placing my summons in the right spot. And it didn't work. Basically what should have happened is my summons should have grouped up, ganked on him so it wouldn't move. And it stays in one place in the middle of the map and it can't do anything other than just die. It kind of worked out well at the end, because they still did the same thing, just not right at the start. But if you execute it well, it takes like 15-20 seconds and he's dead. Because basically your summons are just not allowing it to move. I'm gonna try and do it again. By the way, I got a Tireless Guardian and right now I'm using the Tireless Guardian when I shouldn't be. But I was doing the Tireless Guardian build, wasn't I? Yeah, I was. There's something I wanna see here. 6 energy, 42 crit damage. Okay, yeah. What's this Tireless Guardian? How does it compare to my current one? Crit damage, no cooldown reduction. Okay, that's for the chat, for the stash. I need to check my gold. 94,000. Let's see how much gold I can get from this boss rush on this difficulty. Shit, it didn't work again. I think it's pretty difficult to get the summons to be in that spot I want them to be. But still, it's not gonna be a slow fight. It's kind of getting rough now. So the money I got, 8,000. I don't think it's worth much, but at least it's super quick. It's super quick to do. Let's check Neb Maquette. I want to see how quick I can do Neb Maquette with this setup. I think it's faster, yeah. Neb Maquette is the better one to do. How much money did I get? 9,000. For the time it takes me to get the 9,000, it's not bad. I still think if I'm doing invasions, at least I have better chance of getting good drops. And it's more reasonable to farm money by doing some easy invasions. Alright, I'm gonna do another invasion and then I'm moving back to doing difficult stuff. But I experimented a lot with those poison builds, so if Bradley is watching, Bradley is someone who on YouTube asked me about if if I have a reworked version of my poison executor build, the Queen's executor build. And that's why I decided today to just be experimenting with Queen executor stuff. And you saw, if you watched from the start, guys, you saw that there's a lot of ways to set this combo, the poison set with the executor daggers. A lot of ways to make it work, and still feels kind of something is lacking, and that something is the survivability, the damage reduction in particular. You've got a lot of health regeneration and healing you can get from multiple sources, but the damage reduction is just something Elessa has been left out on compared to the others. So she needs new items, or she needs some of her current items to get some damage reduction added. The same way Conrad and Evontier and Kiwa have some things with damage reduction in the mix of stats that they give. Oh wait, let's pick up those. Alright, we picked up a lot of fragments and gold here. Wait, okay, there we go. I was wondering why this one wasn't dying. By increasing the drop rate of Bloodlust Orbs, they made the fragment farming a little bit faster and easier to do. But you have to do it on some easier content. You can't do that on high level content, because the enemies are barely gonna take damage from your Bloodlust skills. Even on Bragi, that kind of has probably, with the crit monster build, has the strongest you can get the Bloodlust things to be, the Bloodlust skills to be. Let's get that gold. It's not much, but... Okay. So anyone wanna see any specific sets in play? If you want me to switch to other Kiowa sets, to other Kiowa builds and show you how I do those, feel free to suggest. So more legendary healing procs. Next is some more hard stuff. For someone, is it better Tireless Guardian or the other dagger? The other dagger is better to get damage with more often. So Deadly Tips. With Deadly Tips you get 300 damage easily. At least 300 damage. So I'm gonna demonstrate what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you both in action. So what you can do here is you get 30% damage for each summoned enemy. And the way I play it is, with this one I get 4 summons. So that's 4. And then this one is 5. Then this one is another 3, so we've got what, 8. And then with the passive, this one. The Call of the Spirits, no, where was it? Where was this shit? Let me check. There was something where you get spirits summoned, where you get summons when you go to regenerate energy. Maybe I don't have that equipped now. Am I using the wrong set? I'm pretty sure I'm not. But there was something where when I regenerate energy from the spirit, it summons a creature. But yeah, that's 8. The 8 of those, and then you have this passive skill here. Then you have this passive skill here, which is hitting an enemy grants a higher chance to make a small dryad appear. And then each enemy killed by a dryad grants a chance for a new dryad to appear. So most of the time you would have around 300, 330, 360. And the minimum you can have with just your base summons is 240% damage, which is not that bad. With the Tireless Guardians on the other hand, you can get 200% damage twice when you regenerate through the familiar. So we get it once from that familiar, and then we can get it again from the other familiar, and this lasts for 8 seconds. And if within 8 seconds the familiar is ready, like this one, you can just keep it up at 400% all the time. But it's a bit difficult. I mean, this is better in a way. It's better in a way that you can use it even if you don't have that many summons on your build, but you have to keep going through those familiars to get that 400% damage. So you get two stacks of 200. That's how it works. Oh yeah, the bow. The bow is the one that spawns dryads. So that's 10. So if you use the bow, and if you use the skills I mentioned, that's 10 summons, so that means at least 300% damage. 300% damage without counting this and this proccing. Without those proccing, that's 10 dryads. So this can give you another 1 or 2 dryads all of the time roughly, and this can give you every now and then another one appearing. So thankfully they show us the chance now. Before we didn't see this chance, so they added the number so we can see it. So 12% chance is pretty bad, but I do see it happening every now and then. And that's good because it's hitting an enemy. So it's not killing an enemy, it's hitting an enemy, and hitting is gonna be proccing it. So that's being said, I do prefer deadly tips because it's the safer option and I don't have to jump through hoops literally in a way to get the damage. Let's play a little bit with this one now. Yeah, that's Lazarus. That's actually what I use sometimes. Sometimes I use this one instead of the Dryad that can proc. Sometimes I do my god skills in this way. I use this one and I use this one. And since I'm here anyways, I get this 2% cooldown reduction as well. Because it's worth it. Sometimes I even get this cooldown reduction here because that's 4% extra you can get. It's definitely worth it, and I've tried it and it's not bad. And you can get this 42% crit damage while you're at it. It's a good setup. It's a good setup if you don't want to be using Seeds of Blood. And this one is nice because it gives you 40% extra damage to Sword, Poisoned and Rooted. So you can combine this one with something like something else that poisons. So maybe you might want to get rid of the um, the assassination passive and add that other one, I still think it's not a bad setup, and that's my other summoning setup. That's my other summoning setup with Defiler's Reckoning Superior and Nature's Herald. Which I prefer more, I can't tell which one I prefer more, but both of them are nice setups. They're definitely strong ways to play the set. So whichever you prefer, play it. It's not gonna be a bad one. Oh fuck! I forgot to change the difficulty. I was wondering why things are dying so easy. Let's do this. Crit chance decreased. No. For poison set, I was just playing with the poison set and I was showing a lot of ways to play it. There's so many ways to play the poison set. It's the most flexible one, I guess, from all of them, because the game just has so much poison and not just poison but regeneration nodes. A lot of god skill nodes with poison and a lot of those with regeneration. Especially when it comes to regeneration, you've got so many options. Man, I'm gonna die. Why don't I regenerate HP? Fuck. Too late. Too late. I actually don't have energy skills, so that was very bad to do. Just a bad map. Just a bad map. I can't heal on this map. I'm not using energy skills, so yeah. This map is kind of terrible because, first, for this build, it's terrible because I can't regenerate HP. Pools of blood appear, heroes constantly bleed, and I can't negate this right now with this build. The only way to negate it is the healing hallowed spirits, which I actually was using. I was using it and it was still not healing me much. So it's not helping, And this is why I think bleeding and things like that really need to be nerfed in the game. It just does so much damage that it wasn't optimized for Chaos 9 and 10. It was probably optimized for Chaos 7, and when they added Chaos 9 and 10 they forgot some of those effects. They forgot to rebalance those. The fields on the ground, the constantly bleeding heroes modifier, and since Elessa doesn't have that much damage reduction, see, even my pets are supposed to be healing me. That doesn't seem to be happening as much as I need it to. So I'm gonna die if I am not careful. I think in general all map modifiers need to be reworked, and we need like walls and to be able to pick our map modifiers, and they really need to rework those damage over time things. Every single damage over time map modifier needs to be reworked. Especially the damage. The damage needs to be looked into on the maximum difficulties to scale well based on how much damage reduction a character can get. And as I said earlier, Elessa really needs more damage reduction sources. Right now she's the squishiest of them all. map is just killing me, literally. Yeah, there's not much I can do. Fucking bullshit map. I do the damage, but I can't survive. Not on this map. Even with padded armor giving me 40% damage reduction, even with that, I just can't. Yeah, but her damage is not the best. Braggy's damage reflects his squishiness. Braggy can afford to be squishy because he can kill enemies before they can kill him. And Braggy has things that buff his HP. It also has things that make him invulnerable for a few seconds. So for Braggy, whacking some damage reduction is fine. For Elessa, it isn't. Health regeneration doesn't make up for losing damage reduction. It just doesn't. Because health regeneration is not gonna help you against one-shots. I think she needs buff in both ways. Not just the damage reduction, but the damage as well. She needs damage reduction and damage buffs. Or at least HP. If not damage reduction, she at least needs HP buffs. Maximum HP buffs, the same way Braggy has it. So Braggy has things that can kind of double, not double, but boost his HP by a lot. He has skills that can make him invulnerable for a few seconds, and that is more than enough to make up for the damage reduction loss. Okay, I'm going back to the poison set because today I wanted to play poison. But if you wanna see me play summon, I can do it, but probably I'm gonna have to lower the difficulty because the game keeps trolling me and all the money I farmed is now gone. So I'm gonna have to do expeditions because I don't have money to do normal stuff, to do relic hunts. So with the poison, this is one of the weirdest builds I tested. With the poison, it's using this cooldown reduction here, it's using this damage reduction and a lot of health regeneration here. And instead of going all the way here to get that 3% health regeneration and to get this Queen's Wrath and to get this one, we're using this Blessing of the Forest. And then we're getting this cooldown reduction here as well. And getting this Tornado on the way and getting this on the way. Very weird way of playing a poison Elessa, and it's just one of many we tried today. I'm gonna keep trying some other weird stuff. If I had enough blessings, I could even try going for a damage over time build to see how much damage I would be able to do. But with this much cooldown reduction, my focus would be on Spinning Blades Heroic. And the worst thing that the developers did to Elessa was nerfing Spinning Blades cooldown. Spinning Blades could get up to 2, 3, 4 seconds cooldown before. And it was great, it was amazing to play it, having a 3-second cooldown and then being able to proc it and almost spam it. And that was a great source of damage for the poison build before. And they just fucking nerfed it and made the cooldown so big that it's just not fun anymore. Right now you can see I've got 56% cooldown reduction and it's at 8 seconds. With 60 that's gonna be 7 seconds. And I think with 50% cooldown reduction the skill needs to be at 4 seconds, with 60 it needs to be at 3 seconds. Even with all the things that can proc cooldown decrease. You can see I can still get the damage close to 30 million, I've even gotten it over 30 million. And right now I'm using legendary healing. So whenever I'm using Barb Brambles, I have a chance to heal myself. Pretty interesting way of synergizing this. And it's Chaos 9, if you're wondering, it's just Chaos 9. Just an expedition, because I don't have money to roll for relic hunts anymore. Can't wait for the reworked relic hunts, really, to see what they've done with them. I'm hoping it's more like the Wolsen maps, the Wolsen expeditions, what relic hunts would be. Being able to choose your map modifiers from a list of a few and just build it gradually and getting more wood quality for each modifier you get, having a limit of maximum 5 or whatever modifiers. And those modifiers in general, every single modifier needs a rework. Some of them need to be removed because they're so boring and people just always skip them. Ones that reduce the cooldowns permanently or reduce the armor permanently. Just not fun way to make endgame challenging, it's just boring. And do you see this bug? I cast my spinning blade and then I dodged through it and I picked it up. See, again. Cast it, I dodged through it and I pick it up. I'm gonna show you again. Now. See? And this bug really needs to be gone, because that's you're losing damage when you do this. You're losing a lot of damage when you do this. It would have been nice if I could pick it up and then recast it so it resets my cooldown. That would have been actually great mechanic to make spinning blade so that if you dodge through it you can pick it up and throw it again. So picking it up, resetting the cooldown to 100% to 0, that would have been a good mechanic. So when it's spinning I can like dodge through it, but this only works, first of all it only works when you dodge initially, when it's initially cast. And second, it doesn't do anything to the cooldown, it just disappears, the projectile disappears. So something they really need to fix, because it's boring and it shouldn't be happening. And that's been happening for months. Being able to pick your spinning blade by accident when you dodge through it. And it's a good bug that could end up being a feature. A bug that could be a feature as long as it resets the cooldown when you pick the spinning blade. That would make the long cooldown of spinning blade something I wouldn't worry about, because then I can use the spinning blade and I can wait for it to hit the boss and then I can dodge through it and reset its cooldown and throw it again. And it would make so much sense, throwing a glaive that spins and being able to pick it up so you can throw it again. It would really make a lot of sense to have something like this being a feature, a mechanic in the game. And how many ARPGs have you seen that have a feature like that, where you can pick a projectile that you've thrown so you can reset its cooldown? It's definitely gonna be something original if they add some mechanic like that. Throwing a projectile and being able to dodge through it to pick it up to reset its cooldown. At least I don't know a single hack and slash game that has this mechanic. Maybe there is one I haven't played, or maybe I've played the game but not with the character who has this mechanic. But it's something that's a great idea, I think. Inspired by a book. Book-inspired features. So let's demonstrate it again. See? Oh, I throw it and then the cooldown goes in, but I lose my blade. Ah, fuck. This was unintentional, but it happened again. Now I have to be careful when I'm dodging to not dodge in the direction where the blade is traveling with the initial throw. Fuck, I messed up again. And even with padded armor in the mix, Kilo cannot get, not Kilo, Elessa cannot get that much damage reduction. As I counted it, you can get 60% damage reduction without padded armor. With padded armor, that's 100, I think. And 100% damage reduction cannot compare that much. And with padded armor, it's very, very situational. Like, right now, if I want to max out my damage reduction, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna add padded armor. And the other thing that can give you damage reduction, but is super situational, is Lone Hunter. Again, it's not the way it should be. I think this 10% damage reduction should be all the time. Not when there's no enemies nearby, but all the time. The 40% for the first attack is okay to prevent one-shots when you're at full HP, but this shouldn't be when you're at full HP, this should be when you're above 90% HP or above 75% HP. That way you can easily sort the damage reduction problems with Elessa. Let's say 80%, okay, 75 may be a bit too generous, 80% HP or higher for the first 40%, and the other 10% should be constantly. You should be benefiting from those all the time. And that would easily solve the problems with the damage reduction Elessa has. You would not be getting one shot with this thing if you combine it with this trap for 10%. So let's just count 10% again. I'm gonna do it again. 10% here, 10% here, 20, then 40, but situational. 50, 60. Then with this one you go to 100, and then with this one, if they rework it how I want it to be reworked, then you can get another up to 150. And that's gonna be okay. 150 would definitely be a decent amount of damage reduction. Where is the chest? Oh, I need to kill some enemies maybe? Oh, this is no chest map, I forgot. This map doesn't have a chest. Might as well loot this one then. Okay. So, do you want me to test something else with the poison set, poison executor? Do you want to see poison executor summoner maybe? So if we get rid of this here, get rid of this here, and we go all the way back here. We have to get rid of this here and go all the way here. Now let's say we don't take this route here. Let's say we do something different. Let's say we take something like that, but this is definitely not the best one to use. Definitely not the best one to use, because in order to use this you have to get a lot of regeneration, and that regeneration is not gonna be really easy to get. I have tried using those though. I have really tried using something like that one. And then I've got one more point which it doesn't matter where I put it. Champion damage reduction, okay. So now we're going, instead of the tornado, we're going for the poison incarnation. And I'm not gonna get this one, I'm gonna get this one. Or in fact, let's get this one, I have skill points for it now. I was gonna go grab that one and then upgrade this one to that one. But let's go like this. And oh, I want to upgrade that one, so we want that health regeneration, we want this passive. So maybe we can get rid of padded armor. Oh wow, 2 points. Well, as I suspected, we need to downgrade this. It's the same health regeneration, so it doesn't matter. The difference is just that this poisons, this doesn't. This does poison damage, but not poison damage over time. We're using this one. Now we need more regeneration somehow. This can give us regeneration and something else for regeneration we can get. This one won't be a bad choice to just test it. But let's go for that one. Rather than regeneration getting this done. Let's test this. So I'm a bit more squishy this way, not just a bit, actually a lot more squishy, I think. I'm wondering whether I can get a bigger number on the crit. So far the biggest number I've seen has been 31 million with some of the previous setups. Now I just did like 27 and 30 million, so I think maybe I can get stronger with this configuration. Ooh, that hurt. Something is doing a lot of damage to me, and I think it's the archers, and I need to kill them. Oh, it's the little insects. It's the little insects that constantly appear. They can be very dangerous if you let them reach you. Did I just see 36 million, or am I just mixing up the numbers? Let's keep moving. So this is some sort of a semi-hybrid by using that summon. To get extra regeneration and extra poisoning stuff. But you can see how many shades of Queen's Executor there are. How many ways to set it up. What's the time? 10:30 PM. I really want to play Valorant, so I'm probably gonna end my stream early. Maybe another half an hour on an hour more of experimenting, and then I can test how bad I am at Valorant. I could stream myself playing Valorant. If you guys are interested, I could stream myself for another like hour and a half or so, but maybe just tomorrow. I can just get some experience today and then stream Valorant tomorrow. But finally getting that invite. And by the way, I've kind of educated myself a bit about Minecraft dungeons ahead of the launch, and what I'm understanding is the game doesn't have levels and it doesn't have classes. What you wear is what you are, is how the developers are saying it. Basically, what armors you use give you different classes and different skills and things. So your items can roll with some random skills that you can upgrade and enchant and make stronger up to 3 tiers. So you can get an archer armor, you can get a warrior armor and be an archer or a warrior based on those items. And you don't have levels that make you stronger or whatever, so you just have stronger items. So a low level player can play with the high level player, and for a few minutes of farming and them getting high level items, they would immediately be as strong, not immediately, but eventually get stronger and get as strong as the high level player. So that's a very nice way of handling co-op and handling that gap difference in power, the power gap between a newbie and more veteran player. So Minecraft Dungeons would definitely be perfect for couch co-op, for picking it up. It's gonna have up to 4 people playing on the same machine. On console, I'm not sure whether that's gonna be the same way it works in this game on PC, being able to have 4 people playing on the same PC, but I don't see why not. I don't see why not. So can't wait for Minecraft Dungeons and to start playing that shit. It definitely looks fantastic from what I've seen. I've watched some streams of the developers playing it on different conventions and stuff like that, and other streamers playing the beta. And it's got a lot to offer apparently from what I've seen. It's gonna be fun finding that one item you want to try, that one build that this item opens up. So there's gonna be that wood chase in the game. It's not gonna be, oh, I get bored quickly because there's not much to do. So there will be stuff to do. Oh fuck, I need a heal. Fuck, I couldn't. So yeah, legendary healing is kind of broken and it doesn't work as much as I want it to. Sometimes it just stops working. I think why I died now is because my last 5-6 times I cast the skill, it just didn't heal me. I constantly cast Barab Brambles, which should heal me with 43% chance every time I cast it. Ah fuck, look at all those pools. Okay, he should die now. There we go, he's dead. Ah, the damn healer saved him. Or saved himself, more like. I'm not liking this setup with the summon though. I definitely think it's not that great having this summoner setup on the poison. But I wanted to test it. I think what I need to do is revisit the damage over time configuration. So when you're going this way, you might want to even go all the way there and just pump up the damage over time. And then I'm probably gonna need to unlock this passive skill. I wanna try a setup that's using this passive skill. So we're reducing our direct damage, but we're increasing the damage over time. So I'm gonna be doing poison and bleeding. And if I do this and this, then physical damage will have a chance to poison, and then physical damage also has a chance to inflict bleeding. So think about that. With one skill, you would be able to inflict poison and bleeding. The chance to bleed is 20%. The chance to bleed would be to poison would be 20%. But if it's a skill like this one and this one that already causes poison, you're gonna be poisoning all the time regardless of that. And you're gonna have that extra 20% poison damage. Whether it's worth it for 7 points to have 20% poison, or you'd rather prefer to get 30% poison for 8 points, it remains to be seen. Because this allows you to do poison with physical skills. If you don't need it, probably just put this one. And that's gonna increase the poison damage over time. This would be very strong with that one. I'm wondering what else could work well with this situation. It's gonna be something that goes all the way here, so that's gonna be a lot of damage over time stuff going on. The thing is, let me go to the town first. Let me go to the town first, so I can keep swapping the skills. I don't have the blessings right now to change all my gear to damage over time, but if I end up actually having enough, I will. I might test changing just a few pieces first, but the problem is I don't have the passive, so I'm not gonna be able to do it right now. I would need to do my Forges story on Elessa, and that's another 40 minutes of playing, so I'm not gonna do it now. Maybe I'm gonna do it off stream tomorrow, finish that story quickly. It's a bit boring to be streaming that now. That's why I'm not gonna do it right away. Ah, move! Fuck, I got stuck. I thought I could move here, I guess not. It's a dead end. Yeah, I need to go all the way. See, that's super confusing. It shows you that there's a gap between the sarcophagus and the brazier, but there isn't. The game doesn't think there is a gap. Only visually it looks like there's one. Oh shit, the relic chest is all the way there. So probably the next build video I upload would be some sort of build for the poison set with executors rework. So a rework of my executors queens set. I still don't think I am sure which of all the builds I tested today I wanna make the final setup, but I'm gonna try and keep it as close to the original one as I can, I guess. And then maybe I can make a second one later. Right now, all of them seem viable, and it just depends. Maybe I can do two different ways. I can show two different ways, the same way I did with my mage, and just show an alternative setup one, alternative setup one, and original setup. That's probably what I'm gonna do. And do a 2-in-1 build video for maybe someone who might wanna play with something that goes all the way here and has more cooldown. So most likely it's gonna be best to save time to just make screenshots of different setups and then just include those screenshots and the passive and active skills that go with them, and just for a few seconds show on one side the god skills, on another side the passives and actives. Because there's so much variety, so it might end up not being 2-in-1 but like 3 or 4-in-1 build video for the Queen's Executor. And depending on what they prefer, people can pick themselves. Right now I wanted to quickly test. Let's reset. Let's go all the way here. Let's go all the way here. And that's I'm gonna try and grab some health regeneration, but I'm probably not gonna have enough. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough health regeneration. I really needed those 2 points here. I mean, I can sacrifice those 3 points. For example, if I don't use this skill, then I don't need the health regeneration that much if I don't use this skill. But let's see now how much I can get from this skill. So if I wanna be going for a damage over timey setup, I'm not gonna use that one. I don't like it. And I'm gonna use this one because I want the points. And then what do we want? Oh, that's already there. We could probably get that one. Okay, let's first sort the god skills. 23%, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? 23%, let's see like that. It turns into 35%. Now we have 60%, 65% extra damage here. This one is poison, damage and duration 30%. What about the one after moving? I can get 20% damage after moving. Okay. Now the thing remains regarding what to put here on my number 2. I don't think I want a pet, I want a cooldown skill. This one I keep for damage reduction, but I could try and do a poison one. But I'd rather do something with cooldown, so let's do the poison summon if we can. We can't do the poison summon. Okay, let's do a regular summon just to proc the duelist chain reaction. Nothing special about this. Eventually, later when I'm testing, I'm gonna be testing removing this one or removing this one, and then using some of those things here when I unlock them. So first things first, I wanna get damage over time in my items. I'm gonna keep the weapons and accessories the way they are, but the armor I can change. And what was the damage over time combo? I think it was yellow and blue, was it? Let's take something that has bad roll on it. Bad roll. Think that might be a bad roll. Okay, this is the worst roll, I think. So let's check. Was it damage over time like that? No. Was it damage over time like this? There we go. And we want more HP, so let's do it like that. The damage over time is always the same, right? Let me see if I can get more damage over time like this. So I can get more crit damage with more yellow. I'd rather get more damage over time. I'd rather get more HP. Let's do the helmet as well. I do have enough to bless all my armors for damage over time. That's gonna give me a lot more HP than I have right now. So in a way we're getting a bit tougher. What do we whack? Green. The greeny green. Okay, now damage over time, damage over time, damage over time, and those two as well. So we're 5 and 5. 5 and 5, damage over time is 153,000. So if I had this skill, that would have been pretty interesting. Let's try and get this skill. Fuck it, let's try and grab this skill. Oh, no, 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 no. Back, back. I'm gonna try and unlock this skill. I think it's gonna be pretty quick. I don't think I need to spend much time finishing the whole mission. This is probably gonna be just a few quests I need to do to get it. So I'm gonna quickly do it. Padded armor you get by doing the first quest. I'm gonna make things a bit easier for me. So we can speed through the story, get that quest done quickly. And then I can try this damage over time boost, see how strong it would be. Just testing the damage quickly before I move on. Does this poison them? It poisons them, yeah. So let's see the damage over time. It's not that great. It is not that great. It doesn't go up to 1,000,000 yet. But imagine this stacking up and having a lot of it all the time on an enemy. With poisoned brambles, I think it's gonna be great. Okay, I'm just gonna keep running. I don't have to kill enemies, I just need to reach the destination, so... What? That's a bug. My character keeps going backwards. Look at where my cursor is. My character wanted to go backwards. That was a very interesting bug. I'm not liking the damage over time right now. Maybe it's gonna be better. But last time I tried a full-on maxed out 10 pieces with damage over time build. It just wasn't strong. Come on. It's a long map. I actually took a detour. I didn't need to go this way, but it's hard to tell. There is no arrow telling you which way to go. Still, I'm going the right way now. So this damage over time doesn't seem to do as much as I would want it to right now. I did see 2 million once, but maybe that was a trap and that did the damage. It was a yellow number of 2 million and it was not my spinning blade. Could have been this trap that I throw. I'm gonna be using I'm not gonna be using my spinning blade, just the brambles, just to see how big the numbers can get. Maybe let's use the trap. Oh, he ran away. I'm gonna be using the spinning blade just to proc the chain reaction, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, not using spinning blade, of course, ends up you suffering a lot of damage being wasted, but hopefully I don't need to do that many more quests to get that passive. And I just need the first passive, the one that reduces my damage but gives me damage over time. Because I'm getting kind of like 50% of my current damage over time from that one there. So I'm losing 30% regular damage and gaining like 50% of what I've got right now as damage over time. But the thing is, it's giving me damage over time based on my non-damage over time damage. That means blessing your items with regular damage might be the better option for this one, to get more out of it. In fact, it would be the better option, and that would go very well with spinning blade, because you wouldn't be losing damage on the spinning blade. And it seems like the better way to play it if you want to be doing damage over time shit. And Bragi, by the way, Bragi has a similar thing from his passive. Bragi has on the bleeding set something that does the exact same, gives you damage over time based on your damage. So maybe if on Bragi with the bleeding stuff you get that passive in the mix, it might work well. But I didn't think the bleeding when I tested bleeding on Bragi was enough to make it worth it, even with that passive in the mix. It just felt very whacking compared to the damage we can get with direct damage on Strike of the Anvil. And that's just because the other skills, the skills that do damage over time on Bragi, are just not that strong, unfortunately. Just keep moving. Thankfully I don't have to kill stuff, I just need to reach the destination and then kill whatever's there. And then we're gonna be done. Hoping that I'm going the right way, I should be. Kill the guards, there we go. Kill the healers first, I guess. This healer is the squishy one. Wow, the cooldown. Is there a cooldown increase on this map? I don't think so. In this mission. Wow, I can't move, I can't, I'm stunned. Wow, I don't know how I survived. They can stun walk you if it's two of them. Alright, I need to talk to someone. I hope this gives me the skill I want. If the foundry, I'm hoping it's this way. Nope, not this way. You just saw me again picking up the spinning blades. Weird bug, I'm not sure what even causes this bug to happen. This is one of the weirdest bugs in the game, being able to pick up the spinning blade when you dodge through it. Yeah, I think I got the skill. S. Yes, I've got the skill. Okay, now let's put it to a test. Let's remove. Do I want to remove that one or do I want to remove this one? Let's say I remove this one. Right now I'm getting 50% damage over time. What? 50,000. What about now? 82,000. And this would have worked great if I didn't change my blessings, if I kept them the way they are. And I think I will swap them back. Shouldn't have changed them. Should have just kept them the way they are. Maybe go for less damage, more HP, or should I do a balanced option? Let's just go balanced for now. Although I think we're better off if I go for more HP this time. First I'm gonna bless each of them once, and then I'm gonna try and min-max them with the remaining gems, if there are any. So which one is the lowest? 3411, 347, 6347, 34. Okay, this is the lowest one. Something better than 3411. Wow, really? Alright, let's just keep it like that. So let's see this skill now. 68,000 without getting health regeneration from the passive, and it was 50,000. But my damage here went up a bit. Let me just get this in the mix, just to see. So this went down from 300,000, it went down to 250,000, but this went up. So it should be a bit better that way. Let's change to Chaos 9 and let's try and do a map with this combo. So we're gonna be stacking poison and bleeding with this. Oh, This act would hurt. This would hurt. And Messiah is out hosting again. I just noticed, sorry for noticing late. Thank you for that to host on Mixer if you are watching. So the damage over time, let's actually stop using the other stuff and just use the damage over time. Just to see how much I can stack it. Of course I do need some duelist chain reaction. For duelist chain reaction, there we go. Still not good enough, still not good enough. Pretty disappointing, as expected. I mean, I can't say I was expecting it to be strong. Just wanted to confirm that it's still weak. Going for a damage over time setup. I mean, if you stack multiple Elessas with multiple sources of health regeneration, you can probably be actually pretty strong with that thing that gives you poison damage based on health regeneration. But right now, for a single Elessa to get that much HP regen and have those damage over time god skill notes, those ones, just doesn't feel viable. Because you can't get this health regeneration if you get this. So the next step would be removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points here would be the better choice. By far a better choice. Because you're getting all types of damage from the executor and from the passive. Right now it feels much weaker than the previous builds I've tested, where I could reach close to 30 million damage. And damage over time doesn't seem to make up for it. Wait, was that 7 million with my dagger, or was I just seeing things? Was it the spinning blade? Must have been the spinning blade. So far the two builds I liked the most were the one with a lot of cooldown reduction from the passives and the ones where I was using more health regeneration and tornado, the more standard version. And the one I started with, which is kind of like this in the active department, but the passives were centered around maximizing the HP regen rather than the cooldown. So focusing on the HP regen or the cooldown are the two ones I liked the most from all the builds I tried with this set and this weapon. And coincidentally, the one that was focusing on the cooldown was also using as much damage reduction as you can get from the god skills by using the damage reduction Queen's Rat, the superior one. Even though it was physical, it still fit okay with the setup. Let's grab that healer first before the other one heals him. Let me get rid of those healers. Yeah, this definitely feels much slower. Clearing out stuff feels so much slower now. You can probably see it compared to earlier when we were killing stuff quicker, the basic stuff like those enemies that don't require that much damage to get killed. Just the damage from the spinning blade itself, you can see, is a huge difference. Alright, let's pull this enemy towards where there's more. And good evening, little baby Smurf. Welcome to my channel. Nice to have you here. Oh shit. Survive. Nice to have you here. Hope you're enjoying your stay. So I'm experimenting a lot with the poison set and different ways to make it work. Right now I'm playing on something that uses damage over time. It's a focus rather than the flat damage, and it doesn't seem to work out that well. I just tested with damage over time in the gear, then I tested with flat damage in the gear for this passive to give me damage over time. And it's not that great of an option. Just wanted to test it. I mean, it's good to know that I've tested it and confirmed whether it works or not. Let's pull those where there's more. Oh, that's gonna be interesting, having the big bad boy and the little bad boys in the same fight. Damage over time is still weak. I always test it when there's a new update and when they've done changes to damage over time. I always test it to see if it's still better, and it's still shit. I can tell you, I think the only classes and builds that can benefit from damage over time would be Elon tier with the Belcuradris and Morvo sets. Those are two things, two classes that I think could work well with damage over time. The Belcuradris and the Morvo Impetuous one set on the mage. I've not tested much damage over time on the engineer, but I can tell that she won't be that great from what I've seen. But I still haven't tested it myself completely. I tested Bragi a few days ago with bleeding damage over time based stuff, and it didn't work out well again. I don't even want to think of Conrad and damage over time. I don't think he's supposed to be doing that with the fire stuff he has. So Kiwi is the more obvious one with damage over time. Bragi has a fire version of damage over time as well, but I think his bleeding one is stronger if you want to go for damage over time, and even then it wasn't strong enough, even with that 300% more damage than from bleeding. It's just that if you go for bleeding on Bragi, you're losing a lot of potential damage from a non-bleeding setup. And this is probably painful to watch me do it, how slowly I'm clearing enemies with this setup. You can see the thing that's actually helping me clear stuff is my direct damage skill, the spinning blade, not the damage over time ones. Okay, let's try and clear the healers first. Healer number 1 here. This is gonna be a tough fight. 2 big boys and 2 healers. And the 2 healers can heal the big boys and themselves. And also do damage to me, so it's gonna take a while to finish. I'm gonna try and focus one of the healers quickly. It's almost dead. 40% HP, 30. Now the healers are together. Let's use that opportunity to spam some stuff. Oh, and now they're healing. Just what I didn't want happening. Well, look at all the crowd control. I mean, I can't move. I can't move with so much crowd control. Can't do shit. I tried dodging, but they pulled me back in, just like the Godfather. They keep pulling you back in, just when you thought you've escaped. Shit, the one I wanna focus is in a very bad spot. Should I cheese it and get them to come here? Okay, he's almost dead. Come on, healer, die. Okay, one of the healers is dead. Let's try and get the other one. Wow, he's over there. Fuck! This is just such an impossible fight. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's so slow to do the damage with this build. I'm gonna change back to the other one. I mean, definitely not liking the damage overtime setup. In fact, I might at least do something and remove this and get something better. Something with more damage, like that one, for example. Might not be much, but it's gonna help me a bit to finish this faster. Okay, let's cheese this guy and get him here in bunch with the others. Wow, how did he pull me all the way from the balcony? Where is the healer? I have a feeling that this guy's gonna get healed. Alright, there we go. So now it's just the boss and the healer. That should be a bit easier to grab this guy. Finally, now it should be easy. Look at how much damage the damage over time field did to me though. I was saying those fields on all acts, the damage over time fields on the ground, corruption marks, sandstorms, bleeding poison fields need nerf, and somehow I ended up pulling a new healer in the mix. Just when I thought I was done with all of those newbies. So next off I will try a reworked version of this setup, this passive setup. So I'm not gonna be going back to the things I tested. I'm gonna still be experimenting with new things. I'm gonna remove those points and invest those points here and see how that works with a similar setup to what I'm using right now. No. Fuck, so much damage over time fields. Oh, this doesn't ricochet here, so I need to get him where the blades can ricochet. If I get him here, up there, I think I can kind of abuse the walls. Come here, come on. It's gonna be a bit more difficult for me to survive here though, but... Oh, he doesn't wanna go up. Oh no, he reset! Fuck! I did this to myself, trying to cheese it, and yeah... Obviously we can't cheese it, because it would have been too difficult. I would have been able to do so much damage if he can go up there on the balcony. No cheese tactics. Can do the cheese. You would think the developers being French they would like the cheese, but no, they don't. Not in this game. No cheese tactics. But yeah, on Bragi, counter-attack damage works on any set. Any set is good, but I would suggest to stay away from the Wast Song set. For Bragi, if you're going for a crit monster build, you definitely are better off using anything but the Wast Song. The Wast Song set just seems the weakest out of the bunch. So whether you're using Grimnir or whether you're using the Undefeated or the Everpeak set, it's just a preference of which heroic skill you wanna use. I personally, depending on the content, I use different sets. I do like the Everpeak and the Undefeated a lot because I don't have to use the call to ult with those, so I could use the superior Breath of Fire. I forgot the name of the skill, Blood of the Mountain or whatever it's called. I could use that one, that god skill instead of call to ult, and that gives me some extra 50% damage buff, and it gives me health regeneration buff, which definitely helps sometimes. But the Grimnir set I love using on invasions, because, well, damage over time on easy invasions is great. Did this boss get enraged or was it just me? He seemed very fast. But Undefeated is the one that would end up giving you the highest damage. Oh, fuck, no, don't die, no. Not this close to him dying. I'm not sure how I survived there, but okay. Man, this fight, longest fight I've had on Elessa. I'm trying to play it safe and not die when he's just about to. I did die, but afterwards. And who would have thought that some damage over time field would finish me off instead of his explosion or anything else. Oh, I want this big chest. Right, I'm gonna leave this map and switch the build up. Switch it up. Now, as I said, get rid of this bullshit here. I'm still gonna keep this one because I'm using it as a passive, just experimenting, feeling the waters here, and then we get this one here, and that gives us more damage here, and then that gives us more damage here. Uh, 331, that's not bad. But still not as good. Now, normally I don't take those points here. Normally that's not what I would suggest for a poison build. I would suggest either go this way, maybe get this one, or get this one, or maybe go this way. There's many other better options. Even going this way and then that way is a nice option. So what do we do next? Let's try this one, but the thing is now, the way it is, I wanna check something. I wanna check using that passive I was using earlier, how much damage I can get. Nope, not worth it. Not worth it. Let's experiment with this shit, cause that's gonna increase the damage of barbed brambles. I've never used veteran chain reaction other than back when the Belcoradris set was broken and you could just do a veteran build on it and obliterate stuff. So I wanna experiment with that one. I might do that on Chaos 9. Rather than doing a map, I'm gonna be doing the main quest on Chaos 9. It's still gonna provide me with some challenge to test the stuff. You can see now I'm doing 20 million hits with my spinning blade. Much better than 25, so I'm getting close to the 30 million hits I was doing before. Much welcome change, I may say. Oh, we're doing a throw right off the bat without even reaching a boss fight. That's kind of unexpected. That's gonna take a while. Especially with that healer messing with us. I'm gonna grab the healer before the throw. It's just gonna make the fight much easier if I kill them separately. No! How? What? How and what killed me? Seriously. Fucking throws. This kills 9 after all, and I think it was the poison field that got me, which I didn't see because of my own god skill being in the way. I don't think the veteran chain reaction is doing that much for me. Oh, and I still keep getting that bug where I pick up my spinning blade. And yeah, losing damage as a result. So far, the last 3 casts of the spinning blade I think were fails because of the fucking pick up spinning blade bug. It's like the game is forcing me to not use my dodge roll on a character that's all about using the dodge roll. to survive. No, don't die, not yet. Wow, look at how much he healed for, and now there's more enemies to deal with. Thankfully it's just basic ones. Oh, he's healing? Fuck, not now. No, don't die, don't die. Not you, throw. Ah, he keeps regenerating again. Ah, fuck. Not the stun. Alright, almost got him. Oh shit, not now. Almost died when he was so close. Fuck, that took a while with all the regenerating on this enemy. And again, not Kyo, Elessa kind of needs that more damage. Oh, we gotta blow up powder barrels for this mission. I'm gonna go here first. So yeah, the veteran chain reaction, I don't think it's that great, but I'm seeing hits over a mil from the Brambos now. From the Brambos I'm seeing over a mil hits when the chain reaction procs, the veteran one. It's not that much, but it's double the damage at least of the Brambos. Still, I prefer focusing on spinning blade rather than the Brambos as my source of damage. And the Brambos just being there to proc cooldown reduction and do a little bit of extra damage. Any barrels here? No, but a chest. But it's 11:32 p.m. That's probably gonna be the final test for today. I've tested a lot of stuff, so I've got some ideas of what I would wanna use for the build video when I'm making a rework of the Queen's Executor, and I would not make it a single build in one video. It's actually gonna be 3 or 4 different setups in one video, so I'm gonna have to like make screenshots of the different god skills and passive plus active skills to preserve time and just to show those in the video. There's definitely a lot of stuff. It's a flexible set. Still, let's say in general is kind of a weaker class compared to the other heroes because she whacks both damage and damage reduction. I mean, 30 million damage is not a little bit of damage, but the cooldown they added on this skill kind of barrel death. The cooldown they've added on this skill is nothing like it used to be. Like back in the day, a year ago, roughly, like shortly after the launch, this skill didn't have this big of a cooldown, and it was amazing. You could spam spinning blades all the time with 3-4 seconds cooldown when you have like 50% cooldown reduction. It felt great. Fuck those barrels. Oh yeah, those units came with the engineer patch. The engineer patch added throws, it added the chaos warriors that can charge, it added some new things, and it changed the behavior of some of the old enemies. Like the guys with the hoods can now heal. On every act, the cultists, like this one, but the elite version, they can heal. And that's a lot more healers than before in the game. This one is new, a shaman that can heal. So you can get this shaman to heal, you can get the regular enemy with the staff that looks like a shaman that can heal. Then you can get those hood guys that can heal. And just earlier I was fighting a match with 3 healers, 1 Minotaur and 1 Chaos warrior that can charge with the shield. That's a bit more tanky. So 5 elites in one fight. Took a while to get the healers down. So they constantly add new enemies, and there's gonna be even more new enemies coming with the next patch. So there's the Minotaur. If you're wondering what it looks like, I will just... fuck. Why do I keep doing this to myself? I keep running into barrels, and since I have AoE aura around me, the barrels keep killing me. Let's kill the Minotaur and then run away from this map. So I'm gonna be playing Valorant next. I'm not gonna be streaming it because it's kind of getting late, so if I stream it's gonna be just 1 more hour of streaming. So maybe tomorrow I can stream Valorant. I'm gonna get familiarized with the game and see how bad I am at it. Alright, let's leave that map. Barrels, let's explode them before I reach them. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, for watching. There's been a lot of stuff I tested, a lot of things regarding poison setup. This is one of the worst setups I've tested, by the way. It's not some of the good setups. So the things I like more would be something like instead of going here, maybe going here and maybe even here. That's one of the setups that I wouldn't mind suggesting to people. Another one would be going here or here. Another option would be going here, here and here, and that would mean on this side you would want well, that's not bad the way I've done it, but you can get rid of those and maybe grab that one, or maybe grab that one and remove this one. So there's a lot of options, a lot of ways to play the poison set, and that's great. That's so much possibilities. Make sure that if you're going this way and using this one. Oh, another option was, as I showed you earlier, the maxed out cooldown. 5% here, 10% here. That's a lot of cooldown, and then you have some damage reduction and a lot of health regeneration here. So a lot of setups to try. So thanks again for tuning in, keep it cool, and until next time.